Okay.
You are an experienced pilot, right?
Well, I wouldn't say experienced, and I'm not even currently active. It was always a dream of mine to be a pilot, and about 1992, 93 or so, I finally got my pilot's license. But it's so expensive, that for me, I just was able to fly an hour here, an hour there, so I probably only have 110 hours or so of actual flying time, and I haven't flown in several years. It's kind of something that's on the back burner.
If you worked for a TV station that had a news helicopter, would you report breaking stories from the air? If so, how would you do it?
Oh, I'd love to do something like that. Yeah. In fact, in hindsight now, probably the ideal career move for me would have been to become a helicopter pilot in some, possibly in the military or whatever, and then once my military stint was through, then transfer that over to be a flying reporter. So I would actually, there was a guy in Sacramento, and I worked in Chico, California before I came here. There was a helicopter pilot in Sacramento who would do not just breaking news and things like that, but also some great features where he'd fly his helicopter up into the mountains or out over Lake Shasta or out to the coast, and just show you these great trips by air that you could take. So that would be something I'd love to combine. Sure, but if I just had the chance to report from the air, I would just try and be the viewer's eyes and ears there, tell them what was happening on the scene, try to describe, obviously they're seeing what's happening, but it's kind of like a sports play-by-play man, and a color commentator. You can see the action, just try and find any interesting tidbits that maybe I could add to that.
If you were promoted to head of the news department, like the news director, and still kept the gig on the 5:30 and 10 p.m. newscast, how would you take charge of every newscast from Good Morning Colorado to the 10 o'clock news?
I don't think that's something I'd want to do, just because it's a full-time job being the news director, overseeing all those different shows, and it's not just the daily newscast and the content and what goes on the air. You've got to be involved in all the production aspects behind the scene, all of the personnel issues, anything to do with management. So Dave Rose, our news director, has his hands full. And I have heard of situations where the news director is also sometimes one of the main anchors. I know of a station in Anchorage, Alaska. I believe it's the NBC affiliate.
KTTU Channel 2.
That sounds right, Brian. And I believe the news director also anchors the evening newscast. So it would be hard in this size market, I think. In a smaller market, perhaps, you have to wear more than one hat: anchor, news director, producer. But in this size, it's nice to keep the job separate. Having said that, I would just try and do, exactly the same thing that Dave Rose does, and that's try to make sure that each newscast is the best possible product we can make it.